The government now wants to track every mile you drive, and they're calling it fairness. But this is not an old idea. We've heard this before, packaged in other ways. And the next big fight over your car isn't about gas prices, emissions, or even electric vehicles. It's about something much bigger. Who controls the road, and who controls you while you're on it? What's happening in Illinois should set off alarms nationwide, especially in states that follow Illinois and California, because you know they're going to follow this silly rule. I'm being nice when I use the word silly. Because lawmakers aren't just looking for more revenue. They're laying the groundwork for a system that could track every mile you drive. Illinois State Representative Ram Villavalam has introduced the Road Usage Charge Act, pitched as a pilot program to study a mileage-based tax. That sounds harmless enough until you look at what it actually means. This isn't just a study. It's the opening move to replacing gasoline taxes with a system that follows you, mile by mile. Why now? Because the current model is breaking down. As more drivers move to electric vehicles and high-efficiency vehicles, gas tax revenue is declining. And states like Illinois heavily depend on that revenue, and they're scrambling to replace it. But instead of fixing spending problems, which would be a brilliant idea, or rethinking bloated budgets, another brilliant idea, they're going straight to a system that expands control. And Illinois drivers are already paying plenty, whether it be tolls or gas taxes. But under Governor J.B. Pritzker, the state doubled its gas tax in 2019, pushing it among the highest in the country. Add in tolls, fees, and everything layered on top, and drivers are already funding the system at a premium. So why are they short money? So the idea that the state is suddenly coming up short deserves a very closer look, not just from people that live in Illinois, but the entire country, because you know other states are watching. And if they get this through, other states will follow, especially my state, New York, because that's how they always roll. Don't lead, follow. Now comes the next step, charging you not for fuel, but for the movement itself. A mileage-based tax, often called a VMT tax, sounds simple in theory. The more you drive, the more you pay. But the reality is far more complicated and far more intrusive. Depending on how it's implemented, drivers could be required to report their mileage annually or install tracking devices on their vehicles. I know you're flipping out right now, because that's where this stops being more about taxes and starts becoming something entirely different. Because once the government can track how far you drive, it's not a leap to tracking when you drive, where you go, and how often you travel. Hey, they probably want to know who you're traveling with. Don't worry, they probably already have that with flock cameras in your phone, but now they want to monetize that. Even groups like American Civil Liberties Union have raised concerns about mileage-based systems, warning that they open the door to serious privacy risks. Oh, yes, they do. And history makes one thing clear. Once a data collection system is in place, it doesn't shrink. It grows. Supporters will tell you this is about fairness. Of course it is. Sure. Because if electric vehicle owners aren't paying gas taxes, they should still contribute to road funding. Okay, I agree with that. That's a reasonable argument on the surface, but that's not what this is being proposed. You really need to read the small print. Instead of targeting the gap, policies like this cast a wide net, pulling in every driver, including those already paying high fuel taxes every time they fill up. That creates a very real risk of double taxation, not just temporary, but potentially as a permanent feature of the system. And then there's the part no one wants to talk about. The spending. If states are already collecting billions of dollars through gas taxes and tolls, where's the money going? Before asking drivers to pay more, there should be a clear answer about how existing funds are being used and whether they're being used efficiently. And that conversation rarely happens. It's time to start asking your elected officials and those people that are appointed, certainly not elected. But what does happen is expansion. More programs, more layers, more costs, and make no mistake, a mileage-based system won't be cheap to run. It requires technology, administration, enforcement, and oversight. And every one of those comes with a price tag. And that price doesn't get absorbed by the government. No, it gets passed directly on to you. Drivers understand this instinctively, yet policymakers, they pretend otherwise. And that's why similar proposals in Illinois have already faced backlash. A previous attempt in 2019 was pulled after public pushback, and for good reason. People recognized what this was really being proposed. And more access, more oversight, more cost, that made them angry. And less control for the driver, Yeah, I don't think so, because that's what this is ultimately coming down to. Driving in America has always meant freedom, the ability to go where you want, when you want, without someone keeping score. A mileage tax tied to tracking systems starts to change that. It turns mobility into something measured, monitored, and managed. And that's not a small shift. That's a fundamental one. To be clear, declining gas tax revenue is a real issue. As vehicles become more efficient, electric adoption grows, states will have to adapt. But adaptation doesn't have to mean overreach. And if electric vehicles aren't contributing equally, then address them directly, adjust registration fees, create transparent usage models specific to EVs, and keep it simple. Don't build a system that tracks every driver just to solve a problem that only affects part of the market, because once that system is in place, it won't stay limited. It never does. What's being proposed in Illinois isn't just about funding roads. It's about expanding authority, using fairness, my favorite word, fairness, as the justification. And other states, they're watching, and they're waiting to follow this plan. And drivers should be asking a very simple question. Is paying for the road one thing, or giving up your privacy to use it something else entirely? Because once the government gets comfortable riding along with you wherever you go, it won't stay in the passenger seat for long. Soon, it's going to be controlling everything you do. If you like this video, give it a like and subscribe for more videos like this, and check out our car review channel, Car Smarts. You can support me by buying me a cup of coffee, and if you want even more content, check out the links in the description. I'm Lauren Fix. Thank you so much for watching.